Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Sunday morning virtual experience. I'm Dr. Zeb, and it's good to be with you this morning, and certainly hopeful and prayerful that everything is going well with you, your family, and everything concerning you. It is good to be here on this very nice Sunday morning, and certainly hope that all is well. Listen, if I know sometimes, a lot of times, I talk about our series, and this might be the best series, and this might be the best, and it seems like a broken record sometimes. But I'm not kidding you. This was a very powerful series that we started last week, and I'm excited to teach part 2 this morning, and the courage to break the cycle. And so I need you to start sharing this video. I need you to start inviting people to get up and tune in this morning. This is going to be a very powerful message. And if you saw last week, you know what I'm talking about. If you did not see last week, I would encourage you to go and binge watch it. Definitely go and binge watch last week, because you're going to get a lot out of it. This was a very powerful message, a very powerful series that we started last week, the courage to break the cycle. And we're going to deal with that again today. And just so grateful to be with you. I know we are supposed to be in the building today. And I actually had people reaching out, people inboxing me this week, even up to last night, people inboxing me. And we're going to show up today. And we're just really sorry about what happened with the building. But we are looking for another location, and we'll remain in this virtual space until that location and the right location does appear. And so we're very encouraged, and hope you are as well. And the best advice I can give you is just remain encouraged, stay focused, and continue to be persistent, consistent, and continue to be supportive. And I certainly would definitely appreciate that. But I'm grateful to have you, grateful to be with you this morning. Let me get myself going over here. I've got stuff all over the place and a very long day ahead of me, but it's good to see you. Now, start saying good morning in the chat area if you have not already. I try to check out the comments, especially in the beginning, as much as I can. But start saying good morning. Go ahead and hit that @ symbol, regardless of the network that you're on. Start inviting people and tell them to tune in right now. We got part 2 of the courage to break the cycle. And yeah, it's about to get real crazy, and I'm excited. This is definitely going to be a 3-part series. So we'll do part 2 today, part 3 next week. And I can't wait to teach today. I'm really excited and just grateful that you have tuned in and joined with us. Let's walk through the networks. All right. I'm going to walk through the networks. I'm going to get right into the message, get you out of the decent time. And we'll go from there. Facebook, good morning to you. Those of you that are tuned in via Facebook, good morning. Thank you for joining us. If you are watching on Facebook, do me a favor. I want you to hit the like button. If you really enjoy this broadcast, I want you to hold it down, turn it to a love button, hit the @ symbol, hit the share button, hit the @ symbol, and tag 5 of your best friends and tell them to wake up this morning. If you know anybody in your life that is struggling to break cycles, I want you to encourage them to tune in this morning. I promise you they're going to be blessed. All right. And make sure you say good morning in the chat area. It's rude to come to virtual church and not speak. And so I want you to make sure you do that. And I'd be very grateful for that. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. I see several of you on. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching, fill it up with hearts. If you're on Instagram, I want you to hit that @ symbol, and I need you to start tagging 5 of your friends now and tell them to tune in. Let them know that the Rehab Christian Center is live and on the air. And more than that, that we've got a very powerful message that we're going to share with you, and we're excited to see you on this morning. So good morning, Instagram. Fill it up with hearts. Let me know you're tuned in. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. YouTube, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Those of you that are watching via YouTube, Brother Clayton, I see you. I got your message. I'm going to try to hit you up, if not today, one day early this week. I got your message. But it is good to see you. Those of you that are tuned in via YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. If you are tuned in via YouTube, do me a favor. I want you to like this video. If you're on YouTube, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, you can go to YouTube, type in the search bar, TheREHABCC, no spaces, TheREHABCC with no spaces. Type it in your search bar. You'll see our page show up. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell so you can be notified every time we go live. And get ready. I want you to share this video and get ready. This is going to be a powerful message. Part 2, the courage to break the cycle is going to be amazing. And I'm just grateful to see all of you tuned in this morning. The room is starting to fill up. And so I'm grateful to see you here, and just grateful that you've tuned in with us. And yes, good morning to everybody. I'm starting to see some good mornings show up. Good morning to you all. It's so good to see you, and just grateful that you've tuned in with us on this morning. Well, let's get into the declaration. I've got 9:14. I want you to keep sharing this video, tagging people, telling them to tune in. I'm getting ready to walk through our declaration this morning, and I'm just grateful for all of you this morning. Mother Doris, good morning to you. Mother Doris celebrated a birthday this week, and just so grateful for all of you this morning, and thankful that you've tuned in. Let's get ready for the declaration. Let's prepare for this. If this is your first time tuning in to the Rehab Christian Center, you may not know this, but every single Sunday we walk through our declaration. People ask us, what does REHAB stand for? And REHAB is really short for 5 pillars by which we attempt to operate ministry: restore, evangelize, hope, alternatives, breakthrough. And it is the 5 pillars by which we try to operate. And so we are going to walk through this declaration this morning. You should see it on your screen, regardless of the network that you're tuned in on. And I walk through this slowly so that you can repeat after me. So it doesn't matter if you're driving, if you're working, if you're at brunch, if you're on your way to brunch, whatever you're doing, I want you to repeat this declaration of faith with me. Why? Because it is critically important that you set the tone for your week by the words you say. Here's the reality. You can't help anybody that's already defeated. And we'll say this again. You can't help anybody who is already defeated. You can speak life into people, but if they don't want to speak life into themselves, it doesn't matter. You can believe in people. If people don't believe in themselves, it doesn't matter. You can see the best in people. If people don't see the best in themselves, I'm teaching already, it does not matter. And the same thing applies when it comes to this declaration. We say this every Sunday because I want you to set the tone for your week and remember your purpose and remember the things that you stand for. Remember the things that you believe in. Remember the things that are going to be restored in your life. Remember the power of hope in your life. I want you to remember these things so that when the devil shows up during the week, and trust me, he always shows up, you're going to be armed with the strength to be able to stand against them. Okay. All right. And so let's walk through this declaration. I want you to repeat after me. I'll say it slow so that you can repeat after me. Say it with me. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me. And right now, his love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win, and my row has the victory. My past is defeated, and my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender, not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Say it with me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose, for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Did you make that declaration with me today? If you did, do me a favor. I want you to type in the comments really quickly. It's going to get better. Do it quickly. It's going to get better. I need you to make this declaration over your life. Put it in the comments now. It's going to get better. I need you to encourage yourself and keep telling yourself until you believe it, that everything in your life and everything concerning your life is about to get better. We've been saying this every single Sunday since 2022 started. And I hope you really believe this when you type it. I hope you really believe this when you say it throughout the week. I hope you really believe this when you think about it during the week. It's going to get better. Doesn't matter how complicated your life might be. Doesn't matter how tough your life may feel right now. I want you to be encouraged to know that things are going to get better. And that process is already in motion. You have to believe it. The only thing that life is waiting on is you. All right. I want to say this again slow. The only thing that change is waiting for in your life is you. It's waiting on you. You have to make up in your mind that you're going to say it and believe it until you see it. It's going to get better. Has to be your declaration. It has to be your moniker. Every single day, every single week, when things get rough, when things get hard, it's going to get better. And if you continue to tell yourself that, I'm telling you, you're going to see different results in your life. I'm a living witness. You're going to see different results in your life if you daily remind yourself things are going to get better for me, my family, my career, my whatever. Things are going to get better for me. And I want you to hold on to that. Listen, I'm excited. I'm ready to get into this today. Let's get into this today. We are in Psalms chapter number 34. And I want you to type the topic in the comments, the courage to break the cycle. That's what we're dealing with today. The courage to break the cycle. This is part 2. The courage to break the cycle. If you have not invited anybody, I need you to do that right now. Get people on the line. This is going to be powerful. If you didn't see part 1, just watch part 2 and then work your way backwards. Watch part 1 later on today, this week, whatever. But I need you to jump on it because this is going to be a powerful message. And I'm tickled. I'm excited. I'm stoked to teach it to you. The courage to break the cycle. And we are in Psalms chapter number 34 today in the New Living Translation. And I want to start here because what we dealt with last week, and this is important, what we dealt with last week was really some foundational things that I really want to remind you of really quickly. All right. Before we go forward into part 2, let me remind you of a few foundational things that we taught on last week that's important. All right. And one of those things was the fact that cycles are normal, but they're only dangerous when you don't learn from them. All right. All right. Cycles are normal, but they're dangerous when we don't learn. I want you to record this. Cycles are normal, but they're dangerous when we don't learn from them. Record it. Cycles are normal, but they're dangerous when we don't learn from them. All right, record it quickly. You're gonna be the smartest person at the water cooler all week long. Cycles are dangerous, are normal, but they're dangerous when we don't learn from them. See, the issue is not whether or not you go through a cycle. A cycle is nothing more than the repeat of a thing or something happening in a repetitive manner. There are things that can repeat in your life that are good things, that are positive things, right? But when we deal with cycles, we tend to deal with the word in a negative connotation. And when we look at the word from a negative perspective, cycles only become dangerous when you don't learn, right? So some of you are in cycles of your life, not because you have to be, but frankly, many of you are in cycles of your life, because you have not learned from the last time it happened, whatever the it is, right? And so the quickest way to stop it is to change you. Uh-oh, this is going to get good. The quickest way, I want you to record this, put it in the comments. I'm giving y'all a lot of notes. The quickest way to stop it, the it being whatever it is that you have that's going on in your life that you're involved in, that is a cycle. The quickest way to stop it is to change you. And I've discovered, and this is some hard medicine, people claim to want to break cycles in their lives, but they don't really want to change. They don't really want to change, and they don't want to be challenged to change. They don't want to be challenged to do something different. They don't want to be challenged. And here's the big one. They don't want to be challenged to look themselves in the mirror and see all of their flaws. They don't want to be challenged to look themselves in the mirror and see all the things they can do better, right? I talked about this a little bit last week. I think I'm going to do a live this week on my personal channels. I've just really been waiting and just really digesting a lot. Frankly, I've been really busy, but just digesting a lot, because the next time I start this, I ain't stopping. I'm going to do it forever. But I'm going to talk a little bit about this generation. Kind of annoys me. And I talked about this last week. This generation kind of annoys me because this generation wants a lot. You want a lot for your life. You want a lot for your family. You want a lot for your career. You want a lot financially. You want a lot in your relationships. You want a lot of all of this stuff, but you ain't willing to make no changes. You're not willing to make no change. You're not willing to do what it takes to have the lot. See, everybody want to be in shape when vacation season about to hit. But the question is, what you been doing the last 3 months? You can put on your waist trainer. The only thing that's going to get you in shape, if you ain't worked out in the last 3 months and you trying to get in shape before vacation season started in 2 weeks, the only thing that's going to help you is Mr. Miami. That's the only thing that's going to help you. Mr. Miami is the only hope you got. Guys and ladies. This ain't just a ladies thing. Guys and ladies, that's the only thing that's going to help you. Why? Because you have to be willing to put in the work. And that's what I've discovered. People talk a lot about wanting to break cycles in their lives, to see change in their lives, but they don't want to start with the main agent or the main character, and that's you. And the reality is there are some things you just ain't going to be able to change in your life until you find the courage to change yourself first, which means you got to look yourself in the mirror. And that's the problem with this generation. We got big dreams, big goals, but folk don't want to change. Folk not only don't want to change, here's the big one. People don't want to be challenged to change. We can't stand for people to challenge us. Y'all, I told y'all, this might be the series of the year. We can't stand for people to challenge us. You want your business to be great, but you don't want people to look at your business and say, that sucks. You can do that better. That product doesn't make sense. The way you're going about advertising doesn't make sense. You don't want people to dissect your business so it can be better. I watched an interview this week on The Breakfast Club, and they had Mr. Wonderful. If you watch, what's the show? Shark Tank. Me and my kids watch it. We love to watch it. We watch it a lot of Fridays. I'm a nerd. I like just watching people and their new ideas and them explaining their new ideas. And The Breakfast Club had an interview with the guy, Kevin O'Leary. I think is his real name. He calls himself Mr. Wonderful. And one of them asked him and said, do you ever feel bad about the advice that you give people about their businesses and the things that you say to them and how harsh it comes across? He said, no. The reason I don't feel bad, he said, because we need the truth. if you want a good business, you need the truth. He said that's the problem with society. Like so many people connect themselves with people and friends and family members who only tell you what you want to hear. And the reality is, when it comes to breaking cycles in your life, 9.5 times out of 10, what's going to break the cycle is going to be stuff you ain't going to want to hear. What's going to break the cycle of you being in bad relationships is somebody telling you because you keep choosing the wrong people. What's going to break the cycle of you having horrible friendships with people is having somebody in your ear telling you your attitude is inconsistent and you're not really a consistent person, and it's bleeding into your relationships. See, we want to break cycles, but we don't want to hear truth. We want to break cycles, but we don't want to embrace the things that we got to change in order to break the cycles. And that's the problem I've got with this generation. And when I say this generation, I want to be very clear here. I'm not just talking about young people. And there's older people that struggle with the same stuff. I'm talking about people, the day and times that we live in now. The challenge that I have with these people is that people say they won't change, but they ain't willing to change the main character. And you're the main character. And the reality is your life is only going to be as fulfilling as you are willing to make changes in your life. I want to say that again slow. Your life is only going to be as fulfilling as your ability and willingness to make changes. And if you're not willing to make changes and you're not satisfied with your life, you're going to keep getting what life has given you. So there's some cycles, frankly, y'all, that maybe while we did not ask for them, there are some cycles that are needless and pointless because we're not willing to look at ourselves to make the change. You want to see change in your life, it starts with you. Now don't hit me. So we talked a little bit about this last week. Don't hit me with what people did and how people treated you and how people set you up to fail and how people did this to you. I get it. There are some things that happen to us that are beyond our control, that other people might have been guilty of, that might have played a role in, a part in. I get that. I understand that. But at the end of the day, you still have the ultimate control to change the circumstances concerning your life. You, nobody else. You have the ability to change the circumstances concerning your life. And anytime we only put that control in the hands of other people, we end up in this thing that I was talking about Tuesday called making excuses. And some of us should have a PhD in making excuses. Dr. Zell, why are you coming out swinging this morning? It is what it is. Some of you should have a PhD in making excuses. You come up with an excuse for everything. And I'm here to tell you, people who live in the space called excuse almost always are people who deal with cycles in their lives. This thing hit me hard when I was studying this week. There is a correlation. I don't have time to deal with this the way I want to, but there is a correlation between people, and think about your life. There's a correlation between people who make excuses in their lives and people who deal with cycles in their lives. Show me somebody who always makes excuses, and I'll show you somebody who's always living in negative cycles. Think about your life. If you would be honest, think about your life and think about the things you have dealt with over and over and over and over again. And then ask yourself honestly, have I ever made excuses about that situation? Y'all not talking to me. Instagram is dead quiet. And that's normally my talk and laugh in church. Y'all not talking. Think about your life and be honest and ask yourself, are there areas of my life I continue to deal with negative areas over and over and over and over again, right? Identify the areas and then ask yourself, have I ever made excuses in those areas? And I guarantee you, you have. And I don't know why that hit. I was studying. I was like, wait a minute. The correlation between excuse makers and people who struggle with cycles is really clear. You end up in the repetitive cycle of negative things when you continue to make excuses about it, right? I know I'm clowning about weight gain and weight loss and stuff like that, but it's a classic example. It's an easy example to understand. Gyms were packed in January. Everybody was in the gym in January. It's May. Folk that fell out the gym, right? And then people say they want to lose weight, say they want to get in shape, things like that. But then you get up and I don't feel like I'm tired today. Or I got a headache. Or I got to do this. I got work. Let me tell you something. This ain't Bible. This is Zeb. People who really want to make change find a way. I want you to record this. This is from the book of Zeb Tally, the 3rd chapter, the 3rd verse. People who really want to make change in their life will find a way. Are y'all not talking to me? I know this is hard syrup to drink this morning, but y'all need to drink it. People who want to make a change in their life find a way. They don't find excuses. And some of y'all ain't doing nothing but finding excuses. That's why you continue in the cycles that you're in over and over. Well, Dr. Zeb, it would be better if this person didn't do this. Excuse. Well, Dr. Zeb, it would be better if this person did that. Excuse. Dr. Zeb, it would be better if this person didn't always act like that. Excuse. Dr. Zeb, I could do it if I didn't have this. Excuse. Excuse. People who really want to make a change in their life will find a way to make it. The old folks used to say like this, the older saints used to say, you had to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And this is good, y'all. Some people, believe it or not, live in negative cycles in their life because they're not tired yet. Nick, thank you, Nick. Ain't nobody saying amen to me. Instagram quiet, Facebook quiet, everybody quiet. I don't care. Some people are stuck in their life because they ain't tired yet. You stuck in that career because you're not tired yet. You stuck in them raggedy relationships because you're not tired yet. You're not tired. Old folks used to say all the time, you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. When you get to that point, then all of a sudden you find a way to make change in your life. You find a way to do something different. You find a way to stop making excuses and do what's necessary to break the cycles that continue. Until then, you're just talking. Well, Pastor, people hit you with that. Well, Pastor, I really want to do this, but I just this and but, bruh, everything after but, I just cut off. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I know that sounds harsh, and I know that sounds cold. Oh well, sue me. I don't want to hear everything after but. Because the reality is, when somebody says, I really want to do this, but they ain't tired yet. Oh, y'all listen. I really want to change this, but not tired yet. I really want to be a better person, but not tired yet. I really want better relationships, but not tired yet. I really want this for my family, but not tired yet. You ain't tired. Because when you get tired, you stop the buts and the excuses and you do what's necessary to see change in your life. And so I don't want y'all to forget that. This is so important. When you're ready to make a change, you find a way to make it happen. You find a way for things to be better. You find a way for things to work out. You find a way not to live in excuse. And I'm going to help you. I'm going to take it even further. You even find a way to operate above those things you can't control. Because here's the reality. You can't control everything. You can't control everybody. You can't especially control grown people. If your change is involving other grown people, let me just tell you, you can't control grown people. But when you really want change in your life, you find a way to operate even beyond people you can't change. Even beyond circumstances you can't change. And people, I like that, Mother Doris, people don't change because they don't want it bad enough. Oh, y'all not talking to me today. Listen, I couldn't wait to teach today. I'm about to jump out my seat. People don't change because they don't want it bad enough. They don't want it. They don't want it bad. I'll tell y'all, I will share a personal story with you. This was years ago, many years ago. not too long after I moved to Greensboro, first moved to Greensboro, this is many years ago. I had moved to Greensboro. And Sister Leslie, I'm coming back to that question. What happened? What happens when you find the way, but it's still there? I'm gonna come back to that. I won't forget it. I moved to Greensboro, and I was telling somebody this yesterday. For probably the first 2-3 years, where I was living, the apartment that I had where I was living, there's restaurants everywhere. And I probably, for the first 2-3 years, I ate out almost every day. Like, I wasn't cooking at home. I just, started a new job. I was living by myself, had all of this going on. And I probably ate out every single day for the first 2-3 years when I moved to Greensboro. Like, every single day. I wasn't cooking nothing at the house. So my eating out bill was just insanity, right? I'm working late hours. I would, eat out breakfast. I would go out for lunch and eat. I would eat dinner. I ain't kidding you. 4 to 5 days a week I was eating out. And I remember I went for a physical, and my doctor then, Dr. Vita Bland, shout out to her. She was my then doctor when I lived in Greensboro. Ran my numbers, and she said, well, hey, Zeb, I was Zeb at the time. She said, Zeb, you're not diabetic or anything, but she knows my family history and the things around my family. She said, listen, you're not diabetic, but let me tell you something. Your numbers for your age are climbing, and you're going to have to do something better. You're going to have to tighten up. You have to change your diet. Do you work out? No, and no, ma'am. She said, I understand you young, you're skinny, you're fit. She said, but this can eventually catch up to you. You're going to have to make changes. And from that point on, this was like 2 or 3 years after I moved to Greensboro, from that point on to this day, I work out all the time. I ain't making excuses. Oh, I'm young, I got time. Or, no, because see, people tend to not change until they get tired. And here's another time people change. Y'all ready for this? I'm about to get in trouble saying it. Another time when people change? People want to change when they know it gets to a point where they really in trouble. I'm gonna prove this to y'all. It's crickets on the live. Like, I don't see y'all must really be locked in. People really change when they really in trouble. We'll find the money for a good sir. Right. When they really in trouble. You know what I discovered? Let's make this real personal. Some people didn't want God until it got real bad. I'm going to say that slow. Y'all, I know. I'm going to be the bad guy today. I don't care. You're going to get this word today. Some people don't want God until it get bad. Some people don't want him. Don't lean on him. Don't think about him. None of that until it get bad. Until it get real bad. And see, the problem with that kind of thinking is that when you only need God to the point where you can't do nothing to fix it yourself, he might fix it, but it will never break the cycle. I'm going to say it again. And I need y'all to hear what I'm saying and digest this. Something in your life can get so bad that you get to a point where you start calling on God to help you. And if you never really called on him before then, I know this is going to challenge someone. If you never really called on him before then, and he steps in and fixes it, that's not the surprise. He's God. He can fix everything. But let me tell you something. If you had to get to a position where it got bad before you called him and he fixes it, that didn't break the cycle. He was just God. You will end up in the same position again. Ooh, boy, my comments slow. Y'all mad at me, ain't you? I mean it. I mean it. That's called bailing you out. Let me give you another example. Let me make this make sense to y'all. My grandma used to tell my dad and them when they were younger. I know y'all mad. My grandma used to tell my dad and them when they were young, and I remember this. I was talking about her yesterday. Somebody got a picture of her in one of my journals, and before, I'm coming to you, Sister Leslie. I'm coming to you. I promise you. But my grandma used to hear my grandma say this. to my dad and to my mom and to all of my, my dad, my aunts, uncles. So she used to be like, listen, I used to tell June and them, my dad's nickname is June, Zeb Jr., June, they call him June. I used to tell June and them, you get in jail, don't call me. Do not call me to bail you out, especially if it's something stupid you did. What was the point of that? If you bail somebody out of jail that has not learned their lesson, what you think gonna happen? I'm gonna make this make sense to y'all. I'm a master at making it make sense. I'm asking y'all a question. I need some answers in the comments. If you bail a person out of jail who has not learned from what happened, what's gonna happen? Huh? I'm starting to see a few answers. Come on, Facebook, YouTube, y'all quiet. If you bail a person out who has not learned, what's going to happen? They're going back to jail. Guess what, y'all? Some of us do the same thing to God. We do the same thing to God. And the crazy thing is, I'm about to run. The crazy thing is, God bails us out even when we know we're going to repeat the offense. I quit. I don't want to teach anymore. I'm done. Did you hear what God bails you out when he knows you're going to even repeat the offense. And some of you only run to him when it gets hard, when it gets difficult, when you can't fix it, when you have no answers. And because he's a great God, he will fix it. And in the back of his mind, he already knows Leslie going to turn around and do this again. But because I'm a good guy, I'm going to fix it anyway. See, this is why none of us have a reason not to praise God. None of us have a reason not to honor God. Because if we're truthful about it, God has bailed us out many times from things that were cycles in our lives, knowing we would go right back and repeat it, and he still bailed us out anyway. He knew you was going to do it again. So I'm here. I'm trying to help y'all. Some people, your cycle ain't been broke because you ain't tired. You ain't really want to change. But more than that, you are one of those people where things got to get really bad before you lean into God. And I'm telling you, while I appreciate you leaning into him, the way to break cycles in your life. Here we go. I'm coming. This is Leslie. The way to break cycles in your life when it comes to God is to be consistent in how you treat him. Woo! The way to break cycles in your life, especially as it pertains to leaning on God, is to be consistent in how you handle it. How do we do that? So Leslie, how do we do that? Because let me go back to your questions, Leslie, because what happens when you find a way, but it's still there? That's okay. Sometimes you're going to be consistent. You're going to be consistently working on yourself. You're going to be consistently working on a situation. You're going to be consistently working on changing yourself for the better, and a situation is still there. You can only control what you can control. That's it. All you can control is what you can control. So the issue is not whether or not, hey, I'm working on myself, but it's still there. That ain't the issue. The issue is your consistency. I'll give you another example, make it make sense. Right? When we talk about being consistent with God to see results, people don't understand that. And the reason you don't is because he's bailed you out. The reason you don't understand consistency with God is because you know, as well as I do, that God is such a good God that if you pray to him, he'll answer. Y'all don't like this, man. This is power. You know that he's such a good God that if you pray to him, he'll answer. If you call on him, he'll show up. He ain't like grandma, right? Don't you call me. Right? You know he's consistent. But see, we don't understand that. But let me make it make sense. Let's go right back to the working out. I think I said this last week. I'm going to say it again today. The way you see results with breaking cycles as it relates to God and your consistency with God, or as it relates to God, is being consistent with him the same way you're consistent in working out. You don't believe it? Do me a favor. You want to lose 10 pounds between now and next week? Do this. I want you to work out I want you to work out. No, take that back. If you want to lose 10 pounds between today and tomorrow, today and Wednesday, if you're not going to Mr. Miami, I want you to do this. Between today and Wednesday, you want to lose 10 pounds. I want you to work out today, work out tomorrow, work out Tuesday, and then jump on the scale Wednesday and tell me what you see. You know what you're going to see? You're going to see the same weight you saw today. You're going to see the same weight you saw today. You can lose the weight, but guess what you got to do? You got to be consistent in your working out over time. I can't be more practical than this. You have to be consistent in your working out over time. And if you are consistent in your working out over time, watch this, you begin to see progress. I am a preacher of progress. There are some things God can fix and will fix immediately because he's that kind of God. There are some things that have to change and break in your life that is a matter of progress. If you can't get a six-pack in 3 days, right, because you got to change your eating. Exactly. You got to change your diet. You got to exactly, Nick. You have to change all of these things and not just change them. See, you can't eat salads for 3 days. We do crazy stuff. You eat salads for 3 days and then jump on the scale Wednesday. It's going to be the same thing that it is today. 3 raggedy salads ain't going to help you. You have to be consistent with your working out over time. And here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is, if you are consistent with your working out over time, watch, not only will you see results that break the cycle of having weight you don't want, watch this, your body will become conditioned that when something goes in it that is the antithesis of what it's had, your body will respond. You ready for something that's going to blow your mind? Watch. When you consistent with God and things happen in your life that come against your consistency with him, your spirit will respond. Man, I quit. I don't even want to teach no more. Y'all quiet. Y'all ain't talking to me. Y'all acting like I ain't saying nothing right. Like what I do to y'all? Did you hear what I said? When you consistent with God, when you consistent with how much you read and pray and meditate and work on yourself, if you are consistent with those things, watch this. Stuff will come to you. Stuff will come at you. And when those things come to you, come to your spirit that don't sit right, your spirit will respond. You know why? Because it's filled with work. It's filled with work. Let me explain it another way, Yamil, because this is good. I can go deeper. Let me go deeper here. I still got some time. I can tell y'all processing today, big time. Let me take it a step further, because I want to give you an example to make sure. Thanks, Brother Jay. I want to give you thanks, Sister Monique. I want to give you an example to make sure that this really, really makes sense. Here's an example that I know Rehab will understand, because my folk from the streets, and I love it. Here's an example I know Rehab will understand. You ready for this? Have you ever been trying to do right? This is going to be good right here. Man, I feel like running around my house. Have you ever been trying to do right? Make the right decisions, make the right choices, be around the right people, not respond to react to things. You've been trying to do the right things, watch. And then something happens and you snap. Okay, I'm not talking about things happening and building up over time and you were taking, and then like a volcano, you just erupted. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just out of the blue, something randomly happens and you thought you've been working on yourself and then you snap. Let me tell you something. It's gonna make some of y'all mad. Let me tell you something. If you consistently work on yourself spiritually, the way in which you respond to things happening should change, because you have consistently made God important over time. I want to say this again slow. If you consistently make God important over time, it doesn't mean you won't have a moment, but your moments will be far and few between because you have consistently made God important over time. I.e., occasionally I sneak and get one of my kids' Swiss cake rolls. I'm a sucker for Swiss cake rolls. I'm sorry. Occasionally I sneak and get one of my kids' Swiss cake rolls or a piece of cake from Bunch. Occasionally. But listen, it ain't every day. You know why? Because I have consistently, for at least 17 years, dedicated myself to working out, dieting, doing right, Monday through half day Saturday. Will you have a moment? It's possible, but it shouldn't be every day. Let me tell you something. And it shouldn't be easy, meaning I can be at work. Somebody was telling me this today. I can be at work and they can have a cookout or a luncheon for somebody and bring out cupcakes and Krispy Kreme donuts. If it's a Wednesday, it ain't a cheat day. I have to pass on the donuts. See, y'all don't like this. I know y'all don't like this. And see, let me help y'all. The reason why some of y'all snap and cuss folk out who cross you. First round, they ain't been bothering you or nothing, but first round, I know you all Bunch. First round, the reason why some of y'all first round snap and cuss folk out when they bother you is because you ain't been consistent with God over time. Because if you're consistent with him over time, it builds your spiritual stamina. So that means you can take more. That means it's not easy for people to rattle you and razzle dazzle you. And see, people get easily rattled because they ain't consistent with God over time. Oh, y'all don't like this. You got the same way you got to build up your working out and dieting to get results over time, to finally see some abs and lines in your stomach. It's the same way you got to build up your consistency with God to expect results and a better tolerance. I like that. I like that word, Brother TJ. Folks' tolerance level on empty. You know why? Because your spiritual consistency is on empty. Yeah, your spiritual consistency is on empty. It is. It's on empty. And the thing is, you have to be consistent with God if you want to see a consistent breaking of cycles in your life, because it makes your body, it makes your spirit sensitive to the things around you. So just like like I'm about to eat this piece of cake today that I bought yesterday as a part of my cheat meal. I already know when I eat it, I'm going to feel horrible. I already know. My body's going to respond to it. My body ain't used to having that all the time. I know my body's going to say, what is this? Oh, it's cheat day. And it's going to let me eat it. And I'm probably going to take a good nap. I get it. But understand, when you've been consistent in a space, when you have a moment, it's easier for you to snap out of it. If you ain't been consistent with God, your moments turn into habits. Did y'all hear what I said? When you're not, I want you to record this. This is good. This ain't even in my notes. When you're not consistent with God, your moments turn into habits. Man, this is good right here. When you are not consistent with God, I know that's a lot, Destiny. They don't hear me. When you are not consistent with God, put it in the comments. Come on, you'll be the smartest person at the water cooler all week long. I promise you this week. When you are not consistent with God, your moments turn into habits. It's that simple. That's why some of you are in cycles. You have consistent moments, and you have not built any consistency with God. You have not built any consistency in your spiritual walk. You have not built any consistency in your personal development. You can't want to be a better person and you spend no time working on yourself. You can't want to be a better guy, a better woman, and you spend no time working on yourself. And so what's going to happen? Life's going to happen. Situations going to happen. And then the moments are going to turn into habits where you will get to a point where it's going to be harder to change because you ain't changing a moment. You're changing something that's settled. And see, God, this is good. People struggle to break habits because they are struggle to break cycles in their lives, because by the time they attempt to address the cycle, it is a settled issue in their life. A habit is settled behavior. Man, good God from Zion. Am I teaching all right? I don't see no amens. I don't see no hearts. Am I teaching for real? Be honest with me. If I suck, I can take it. I take criticism. Am I teaching all right? A habit is a settled behavior. And so some of you ain't breaking cycles because you asking God to break something that's settled in your behavior. I quit. I don't want to teach anymore. I don't. I want to take the rest of the day off. I don't want to teach. This here is way better than y'all's amens. You ought to be tagging people. Yeah, y'all frozen. I know you're frozen, Leslie. Y'all frozen. You asking God to change a settled behavior, and he's saying, be consistent with me so it don't get that bad. Because Dr. Zeb, you saying I got to be perfect? I just explained you don't. You don't have to be perfect. And God, you're not going to be perfect. And in fact, the day you get perfect, you ought to ask God to take you out of this life so you can go right to heaven. It's that simple. No, but I'm here to tell you, you want to see change in your life for real, you got to be consistent with him. And some of us are not seeing cycles broken because we are asking God to change something that is a settled behavior in our lives. And guess what, y'all? When something shifts from being a moment to a habit, it's a whole lot easier to fix a moment than it is a habit. Man, maybe I'm just feeling myself this morning. I don't know what it is. Y'all, are y'all listening to the old man? It is easier to fix a moment than it is a habit. It's easy for me to fix this piece of cake that I'm going to eat today. It's easy for me to fix having a moment of dipping in my cabinet and eat one of my kids' Swiss cake rolls. It's easy to fix that. Watch. Than fixing eating Swiss cake rolls every day. Nick, Lord, I need you. You are a fool. Are y'all listening to me? It's easy. And we're asking God to fix eating Swiss cake rolls every day and wondering why the cycle hasn't been broken. And here's the thing. You're not putting in the work. You're not putting in the work. If you want the cycle to be, you got to put in the work in your spiritual life, in whatever area of your life you want to see change, where there is a cycle that's negative, you have to consistently put in the work. And watch this. Stop getting mad because you don't see results in 2 weeks. You want cycles broken in your life? Stop getting mad because you don't see results in 2 days. Stop getting mad because you don't see results in 30 days. I've been pissed the last 2 weeks looking at this scale because I've been working like a slave. I went up on my weights. I had to remind myself, you go up in weights, muscle weigh more than fat. Muscle burns fat, but it weighs more. So I'm at this point where I'm stuck, but my clothes are fit me. I'm on my last belt buckle on 2 of my belts. So I'm in shape, but I'm looking at the scale and it ain't moving. And I'm working out and I'm like, and some of y'all are like that. You putting in the work and you're looking at the scale and you don't see movement and you think nothing's happening, but something's happening. And what happens when people don't break cycles because they put in the work and it looks like nothing's happening. But when they look at the scale and they don't see movement, what do? They quit. They quit. And some of y'all are like that. Some of y'all want cycles broken in your life. And you're saying, well, Dr. Zeb, I'm coming to church. Dr. Zeb, I pray every day. Dr. Zeb, I work on myself. Dr. Zeb, I try I try to be a better person every day. Dr. Zeb, I'm breaking these habits. I'm doing this, and I'm looking at the scale, and my weight's the same. And so what do? You quit. You quit, and you don't even realize that you are actually closer to getting the results today than you have ever been. Why? Because you are consistently putting in the work. So you got to be consistent. What's these cycles? You got to be consistent. Some of y'all need to stop taking people back because they apologized. I'm gonna quit because I feel like I'm about to get on one. Well, Pastor, they apologize. That's fine. Where's the consistent behavior that shows a reflection of change? Oh, y'all quiet. Where's the consistent behavior that reflects change? Because it's easy for me to apologize and feel away about this piece of cake I'm gonna eat today. I'm just trying to make this make sense for y'all. It's easy for me to feel bad in this moment when I'm gonna tear this cake up today. But let me tell you something. If I turn around and have cake 3 more days this week, guess what, y'all? My feeling bad today didn't mean much. See, I knew that was a sore spot for some of y'all because some of y'all let folk walk in and out of your life just because they apologized. And apologies don't break cycles. Consistency does. Man, I quit. I don't even want to teach no more. I'm done. Y'all need to put that in the comments if you're bold enough. I need you to put that in the comments now. Apologies don't break cycles. Consistency does. Y'all don't want this teaching today. Y'all don't even want this. Apologies don't break cycles. Consistency does. And this is for all of you that's got problems in your relationships, your connections with people and stuff. And listen, God bless you. I got a big heart too. Lord knows I know what it's like to give people a million chances. Listen, I'm in the chance giving business. Okay. As a leader, I'm in the chance giving business. So I understand. But let me tell you something. It comes a point where you realize that cycles ain't going to change. When people just apologizing, you got to do something different. Y'all quiet up in here. You got to do something different. And you need to apply, somebody needs to apply that to their lives. Apology ain't going to break nothing. Consistency does. And see, watch this. Well, Pastor, I said that, Pastor, and they got offended and quit. Well, guess what? They weren't serious about change. They won't consider serious about breaking the cycle. they won't serious about doing something different. Y'all quiet. Y'all quiet. Because I found out that when somebody really wants to change, when somebody really wants to break a cycle, a little bit of resistance ain't gonna hurt them. Let me go back to working out because this ain't making sense and y'all quiet. Let me go back to working out. When I was doing my ab work yesterday morning, Saturday mornings I do ab work along with my cardio. Walking on Saturday mornings, I do a workout regimen Monday through Friday, and then I do ab work. Well, I do ab work during the week too, but it's just ab work on Saturday, and then walk. I was doing that ab work in there, about to die, doing them barbell crunches, barbell Russian twist, where you sit up in crunch position, and your back is not on the floor. You're in a V, and you're swinging the 25-pound barbell from side to side, and I'm in there about to cry and about to die, and my kids looking at me, and I'm sitting there about to die right there on that floor. Let me tell you something. The resistance doesn't make me stop. The resistance tells me it's working. Y'all ready for this? The resistance doesn't make me cry. The resistance, when I feel the pain in my stomach, The resistance tells me the exercise is working. Y'all ready for this? This is gonna make, I know I'm about to just take up the offering and sign off. I don't have nothing else to say. Y'all ready for this? I want you to record this in the comments. And then if this makes sense, I want you to put it in the comments, and I want you to put the running man or the running woman next to it, because I'm about to run around my house. Y'all ready? I want you to put this in the comments right now. You ready? You're going to type this and put the running man or the running woman next to it. And then I'm going to just take a lap around my house and come back. You ready? I want you to type this. Resistance is the sign the cycle is breaking. Resistance is your sign that the cycle is breaking. Man, this is a whole meatloaf word. Resistance is the sign that the cycle is breaking. If the sign that my abs are getting stronger is pain, in my life, resistance is the sign that the cycle is changing. So when you are trying to make real change in your life, if you ain't seeing no resistance, you ain't working hard enough. I quit. If you are trying to make real change in your life and you ain't getting no resistance, you ain't working hard enough. Right, I'm on lap too. You ain't hard enough. You're not working hard enough. Resistance is a sign that the cycle's breaking. And see, we don't look at cycles like that. We think cycles are supposed to be easy. I'm making an effort and I should be seeing change magically and everything should be changed. No. In fact, the opposite's true. When you really dedicate yourself to putting them Swiss cake rolls down, you're going to find yourself laying in the bed like Pookie, craving Swiss cake rolls. When you really make the decision to give up that habit you got, you're going to find yourself laying in the bed like Pookie from New Jack City, crying over the thing that you had the habit in. Resistance is a sign that the cycle's breaking. And so, watch this. When you do things this week to attempt to break cycles in your life and you get a little bit of negative feedback, don't get discouraged. You're breaking the cycle. Man, I want to throw this mouse across this room. Are y'all listening to, is anybody listening to me today? Huh? The resistance is the sign that it's working. So if you apologize and they say, well, I accept your apology, but I want to see something different. Don't get no attitude. Put in the work. Work on yourself every day. And if you talk to them 3 days later and they still a little upset, don't take it personal. You've apologized. Keep working. You've got to be consistent. That resistance in the beginning is just like you doing your first sit-up. It's going to kill you. Huh? For all of you that want to lose weight, but you don't want to work out, or you tired, or you scared of working out, or you scared to work, let me tell you something. That first week gonna wear you out. Y'all quiet. That first week is gonna wear you out. But guess what? The resistance is telling your body something different's about to happen. Y'all, resistance is the sign. I'm still stuck. She said, I can't get past the first week. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But see, that's just it. And I like this, Destiny. I'm going to use this, Destiny. I'm running out of time, but I need 8 more minutes. Listen to me. I got to use this. Because she says, Destiny says, I just can't get past the first week. And I get it. But hear what I'm saying. When you're really trying to break a cycle in your life, many people give up. Many people tend to give up in the beginning. Why? Because they're not used to that kind of resistance. You ain't never done a sit-up. You ain't used to your stomach feeling that way. If you ain't never felt like you about to pass out after a hard hit workout, you're not used to that kind of stress and resistance. You're gonna be like, man, I'm not coming back for more of this. But see, what you don't realize is trouble don't last always. Hard times don't last always. They don't. I'm sorry, Sister Courtney, for hollering at you like your trainer. They don't. Hard times don't last always. Difficult moments don't last always. And people tend to quit at 2 times. You ready? This ain't even in my notes either, man. But I gotta write this down if I tell you. Y'all ready? Because I want you to record this. People tend to quit at 2 times. You ready? You want to know what these 2 times are? In the beginning and right before the change. Don't you ever forget this. I don't care what cycle, what negative circumstance you're dealing with in your life. I discovered this and I am a living witness. People tend to quit at only 1 of 2 times, in the beginning or right before the change. The middle's easy. See, after you get over that hard first week of working out and you feel like you're going to pass out and throw up, by about week 3, the middle part of week 2, week 3, your body starts selling and you start feeling better, and then your glow is good, and then you got more energy at work, and you start feeling good. But then what happens when you get close to the end of the workout? Them Swiss cake rolls be looking at you from the cabinet. Right when you close to your goal, and that's why I'm so close to my goal, being right back what I weighed in college, undergrad. And I told somebody this yesterday. The closer you get to your goal, the better them Swiss cake rolls start looking. Now, they didn't look good when you was in week 3 through week 7, week 8. They was fine. You won't even think about them Swiss cake rolls. Your energy was up. You were stepping on the pounds. Your pounds were shredding every week. Stepping on the scale, your weight was shredding every week. And you won't think about those. But then when you got close to the finish line, guess what happens? Them Swiss cake rolls start looking at you. Like, you sure you don't want one of me? Just 1 Swiss cake roll ain't gonna hurt. And the truth is, 1 ain't gonna hurt. But guess what? 3 will. Guess what, y'all? Y'all not listening to me. People who quit, people tend to quit at 1 or 2 times, in the beginning or right before the change. That hot Krispy Kreme sign. I don't even ride by Krispy Kreme, Brother TJ. I don't even ride, but my kids love. I don't even ride by Krispy Kreme that way. Let me take this street over here. I don't even ride by that. Bible says, resist the devil, he'll flee. resist the devil, he'll flee. I don't even ride by Krispy Kreme. And there's a word in that too, because you get to a point where when you have broken a cycle, this is the last one. I got to stop. I'm sorry. I'll pick up here. So there's going to be a part 4, because I didn't even get through I didn't even get through a 4th of my notes for part 2. But let me tell you something. There's a level to this too. You ready? When you have broken a cycle for real in your life, then you begin to understand your tolerance levels. You begin to understand what you can tolerate and what you can't. And when you begin to understand what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate, watch this. You don't put yourself in a position to fail. And some of you are struggling with cycles, not because you weren't consistent, not because you didn't break through those seasons of resistance. You're struggling because you put yourself in positions to end up in the cycle all over again. I'm done. That's a whole word. I don't have nothing else to say. Because I feel like this is going over some of y'all's heads. Either that or y'all just quiet, with the exception of about 4 or 5 of y'all. I'm serious. I don't even drive by Krispy. And Brother Teacher, I'm not being funny. I was on Gate City yesterday, and that Krispy Kreme was coming up, and I can't think of that road that runs out to Emerald Point. I just went on ahead, made a right there, and got on 40. I'm not even going down there. See, because when you're serious about cycles and you have really been through something that almost killed you, you don't put yourself in position to end up doing that again. And that's how I know some of y'all ain't sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, not only do you break the cycle, you refuse to put yourself in that position to end up in it again. Are y'all listening? When you sick and tired of being sick and tired, you not only break the cycle, you refuse to put yourself in that spot again. You ain't going by Krispy Kreme because you remember what happened the last time you went. You ain't going back to Dodo because you remember the last time, what happened the last time you went. Let's pray. I'm done. I'm just not teaching no more. I'm done. 10:20. I gotta go. This message bless anybody today? y'all quiet. Oh, you quiet. I told you today was gonna be hard. I told you it was gonna be hard. I told y'all. You not sick and tired. And when you are, you avoid. The Bible tells us, challenges us to avoid all appearances of evil. That's how you break cycles. You avoid all appearances of stuff that look like what you came out of. Let me give you more Bible. Stand therefore in the liberty wherewith Christ made you free. Here we go. And be not entangled again in Krispy Kreme. In other words, if he brings you out of Krispy Kreme, stay away from Krispy Kreme. That's sending me with a belt to whip y'all. Are y'all listening? If he brings you out of, I don't know what your Krispy Kreme is. Your Krispy Kreme might be struggling with your finances, making bad financial decisions. Your Krispy Kreme might be bad relationship choices. Your Krispy Kreme might be your attitude. Your Krispy Kreme might be whatever. I don't know what your Krispy Kreme is, but let me tell you something. If God brings you out of Krispy Kreme, stay out of there. And stay away from there until you get strong enough to go by there and it don't bother you. Y'all, let's pray. This bless anybody today? Don't play with me. This bless you. I want you to fill it up with hearts. Come on, quickly. I want to see some hearts fly up the screen. Quickly. Come on. Fill it up with hearts. This bless you. Fill it up with hearts today. I'm getting ready to pray with you. Y'all, let me make a note here. I got to start here. Woo. Wow. This was powerful. This bless anybody today? Huh? If it did, don't you fill up with hearts? Some of y'all need to go back and watch this replay today. And you need to go back and watch part 1 last week and then put part 1 with what I said today. And guess what? You ought to see yourself. You will see yourself starting to break cycles this week. Put part 1 with today's message and put it together. You're going to start seeing results immediately. Listen, y'all, I want to pray for you. You got a prayer request. I want you to put it in the comments quickly. Wow. I want you to put it in the comments quickly. I want to pray for you every morning, 4:30, except for Saturdays and Sundays. 4:30 in the morning, I get up. I pray over your prayer requests. Pray over the things that you want me to pray for concerning your life. And I want you to know that I'm praying for you. If you got a prayer request, I want you to type it in the comments quickly so that I can see it as I talk. If it is a prayer request that we cannot see on the air, that is nobody else can see, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. Thank you so much, Mother Brenda. I love you and I miss you. Thank you so very much. I want you to type in your prayer requests in the comment. I want you to email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. You can email your prayer request there and put in the subject line prayer request, and your prayer request will be routed to my email address, and I will personally respond to your message, personally respond to your request, and let you know that I'm praying for you. I want to personally thank all of you that trust me with the private things concerning your life, things that you're challenged with, and some very intimate things that are shared with me. Um, Very intimate things that are shared with me concerning your lives. And I want you to know that I'm grateful, I'm honored that you would trust the God in me to be able to pray for you every single day. There is no greater honor than actually praying for you every single day. I love it. It's something that I enjoy doing. And so I want you to know that I'm praying for you. I'm rooting for you. I want you to know things are going to work in your life, but you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. Don't get nervous when resistance comes. Don't get frustrated because there's a little bit of opposition. No, that opposition's building your abs. It's making it stronger. It's forming the abs in your stomach. That opposition is forming the lines in your life in the areas you've been struggling with. Don't get nervous over opposition. Sometimes, more often than not, things get rough before they get better. That's okay. But I want you to know today, and I mean this in all sincerity, that if you continue to stay focused and be consistent, you're going to see cycles break in your life. You're going to see patterns change in your life. You're going to see things that you struggled with, that you were never able to get over the hump with. You're going to see those things change in your life. All right. So put in your prayer requests in the comments. Email your prayer requests to the email address if you need to. And we want to pray for you. Come on, connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith, wherever you are. Unless you're driving, you can't do this. But if you are driving, I want you to just listen in because I'm praying for you. I'm about to pray for you. Connect your hands like this as a sign of symbol of faith. I want us to touch and agree right now concerning your life. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you today for your word. What a powerful time you've given us concerning your word and concerning the nuances in our lives, those cycles, those negative patterns that we struggle to break, that we struggle to deal with. Help us today, God, to find the consistency in you, to be consistent in how we trust you, how we lift you up, how we honor you, how we apply you to our lives, so that through that consistency, we can see chains and cycles, habits, even broken in our lives. Help us to be consistent in how we seek you. Help us to be consistent in how we develop ourselves and in the work that we put in ourselves. We don't want to work for 3 days and see results. We want to work consistently over time so that the results that do come stick with us. They don't go away. So that the results that do come in our lives are permanent, not temporary. Help us to be consistent in everything that we do. Because today, God, we realize that it is consistency that breaks cycles. It is the willingness to do things over and over and over again, even through resistance, even through boredom. It is our ability to do things over and over again that produces consistent results in our lives. Help us to be consistent in all things. Now, God, for every prayer request that has been typed in the comments, that has been emailed to our inbox, we lift them up to you today. I ask you now, God, that you would answer the prayers of your people as only you can. Make ways, open doors, meet needs, grant heart's desires. Somebody's dealing with a health challenge. Somebody's dealing with a family matter. Somebody's dealing with a matter that's so personal that they haven't even told anyone. Give them the strength today not to quit, not to get concerned in resistant spaces, but to be consistent and work through the storm until things get better in their lives. God, make this a week filled with miracles, open doors, made ways, met needs, realized promises, and God will continue to praise your name and give you glory. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Do me a favor. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to type in the comments quickly. It is so. Come on, hurry. It is so. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want you to type in the comments. It is so. I love that. I like that, Sister Leslie. She said, I can see change now. I love it. That's a beautiful thing. Come on, quickly. Type in the comments. It is so. Every time you say amen, you're simply saying it is so. The word amen, translated in the Greek, it is done. It is well. It is so. I want you to type it in the comments quickly. It is so. It is so. God's going to change some things for you, but it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with you, and you've got to embrace that today. And if you do, I promise you're going to see a better life. Listen, while you're typing that, if anybody wants to be saved quickly, if anybody wants to dedicate their life to Christ, I want you to stop what you're doing. The Bible tells us in Romans 10:9 that if we confess with our mouths and believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. Salvation, my friends, is a matter of confession. It ain't about being perfect. It's not about doing all the right things, saying all the right things, but it's about admitting that you got some challenges, but you serve a real God who can fix them. Listen, if you want to be saved, I want you to stop what you're doing, literally. If you're driving, this is one time I need you to find a place to pull over. If you're eating breakfast, I want you to put the bacon down. Maybe you're in a swimming pool somewhere in a warm part of this country or world. I want you to swim over to the side. Keep your AirPods in, because I want you to say this prayer of faith with me. If you want to be saved, I need you to repeat this prayer, because God wants to save you right here as a result of this broadcast. Maybe you heard this broadcast today on breaking cycles, and it's really challenged you to reconsider your life. I want you to say this prayer of faith. God wants to save you now. Say this with me. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes. I have some flaws, and I have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. And 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. My friends, if you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I don't care where you are, if you prayed that prayer, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. There's no better decision you could have ever made. Listen, if you prayed that prayer, I want you to type in the comments right now, #salvation. Do that for me. Why, Dr. Zeb? Why do I have to put in #salvation? Because we want to celebrate God with you. We don't want to embarrass you. We're not going to call you out. We just like to celebrate with people who have made the decision to give their life to Christ. It doesn't mean your life is perfect. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. But what you've done today is you've made the decision, whether you're watching live or the replay, you've made the decision to live a better life today than you did yesterday. And we're excited about that. Good. I'm starting to see them come through. We're excited about that today. Excited about this decision that you made. And I'm so excited that you gave your life back to Christ. Now, go find you a church home somewhere. Doesn't matter where. All right. I only have one stipulation. That church needs to be a Bible teaching, Bible preaching, community-based church that believes in empowering people in every way, not just spiritually, but physically and naturally. Find that church that's a true teaching church and go be a part of that ministry so you can continue to grow in your faith. Maybe you're tuned in today and you're saying, hey, Dr. Zip, I want to be a part of Rehab. I understand that you're a hybrid ministry. Once you all go back in the building, you're going to be part in person, part virtual. And I want to be a part of this. I've never heard teaching like this. I've never experienced an understanding of God's word this way and been able to apply it to my life. Listen, I'd love to be your pastor. I would love to walk alongside you on this journey that is your life, this journey of faith. Listen, if you want to be a part of the Rehab Christian Center, do me a favor. Just type in the comments membership, #membership. And one of our faithful moderators will see that, get your information, and we would love to welcome you, not to the largest church on the planet, not to the loudest church on the planet. Heck, we don't even have a physical building right now, but by far the nicest church on the planet, the Rehab Christian Center. We would love to welcome you. And I would be honored to be your pastor. I have people, members that are virtual and in person, but especially virtual, that I've never even met in person before, that tune in every single week, that are part of this word, this ministry, that receive this word, even sow into our ministry. They're active in their giving and in their attendance, and you can do the same. If this message broadcast has blessed you, just type in the comments membership, #membership, and our moderators will reach out and we will be happy to welcome you to the Rehab Christian Center. Listen, I want to challenge you to give. Wherever you are, I want to challenge you to give quickly. If this message, this ministry has been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give today. Good. Brother Tyrone. Yeah, man, Brother Tyrone. Awesome. That's awesome. I want to challenge you to give today. This message, this ministry has been a blessing to you. I want to challenge you to give. You can give one of three ways. You can give through our website or via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website by visiting www.rehabcc.org and simply choose online giving. That's www.rehabcc.org. www.rehabcc.org and simply choose online giving. Or you can text REHABWORKS to 336-642-3210. That's REHABWORKS to 336-642-3210. All right. Again, you can give via CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE, website, www.rehabcc.org, and simply choose online giving. Or you can text REHABWORKS to 336-642-3210. That's REHABWORKS to 336-642-3210. You can give either one of those three ways, and we know God will bless you. Yes, we're continuing to give. It is our hope that as we find a location, we will be in a position where we have been saving and we can have the capital necessary to move on and move forward without much delay at all. And so your giving does matter. It matters. And I want to challenge you, implore you to continue to give your tithes, continue to sow offering seeds. And I know God's going to bless you in a tremendous way. Listen, y'all do me a favor. I need y'all to share this video today. All right. If this message bless you today, I need you to share this video today. If this message bless you, share it, because I know this message blessed somebody today. No Zelle. We don't have Zelle yet. That may change, Sister Leslie. We do not have Zelle yet. I will make a note of that to make sure that we can possibly consider that. That is considered another major platform of giving. So we will look into that as well, Sister Leslie. I won't forget. But listen, I want you to share this video wherever you are. I want you to share this video and then make plans to meet us this Tuesday. Make plans to meet us this Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Life Study. I want to see you there. I want you to have a fantastic week. I can't wait to see you Tuesday. Again, make sure you like, share this video, and then we will see you in a couple of days. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Pray for me. But I'm praying for you. I want you to have a fantastic week. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.